I actually tried to write a blog for the Smallville episode last night, Sacrifice, but I had a little bit of trouble getting it online, and it meant rewriting it, and I don't have time for that today. So what I'm going to be doing is, I know it's late, but I'm going to do a vlog review of Sacrifice right now. Okay, so like I said, I can't promise this is going to happen on a regular basis, because I find that the blogs, I'm able to get a lot more summed up in my writing. So yeah, it's not that I hate YouTube or anything like that. Anyway, so let's get into the episode. So the episode is pretty much half of it's a Chloe-centered episode, and the other half is really where Zod takes the last steps to becoming who he is. Basically, Watchtower goes on lockdown mode with Chloe and Tess inside, and basically, it's sort of, like I said, it's a Chloe-centered episode, so you're really looking deeper into Chloe's character. And I actually found out a couple of weeks ago that this episode was going to be co-written by Justin Hartley, who plays Oliver Queen / Green Arrow on the show. And to some degree, I think that, I don't know, I think because you're an actor and you're playing these characters, like he's not playing Chloe, but you're able to analyze deeper into characters when you're right there in front of them and playing off their roles when you're acting. So I think that's where some of the character analysis, because it was very good in the writing, it really showed that Justin Hartley was able to do a lot of great writing. There was a couple of plot holes, just continuity wise, but you know what? It's his first time writing, so he's got a get out of jail free card for this round. But like, you know what? It's not that huge. It's just something I noticed. Anyway, so Chloe and Tess are sort of battering amongst each other, and they find out that Checkmate is going to Watchtower because they put a tracer into Tess's skin. Now, this is sort of where there's a bit of a plot hole. How does Tess expect to go underground if she's got this homing beacon in her skin? You know, like, Checkmate can pretty much find her, and why didn't they try and find her long before she got into Watchtower? So yeah, they try and get it out, but then they realize that they can't. And then Chloe decides that they're going to destroy the only way they can get out of Watchtower and not die by either asphyxiation or of being killed by the Checkmate agents is by destroying the system with a coolant bomb or something like that. Like, they just blew up a tank of coolant, and yeah, pretty much they realized that they got to sacrifice Watchtower, and basically Watchtower shut down for now at least. And basically, Checkmate also has a new agent. If you remember earlier in the episode, there was a guy named Stewart, and he comes back in this episode as, I think, the White Knight. Now, to be fair, that is a good idea. I thought that it was long overdue for this guy to come back, especially because they said he was alive. But the thing is, in the episode Pandora, he got shot in the back by Tess. And yet, he has scarring on his eye, heavy scarring. Yeah, it must be this eye, because I'm technically looking at guys backwards because I'm recording. But yeah, he got scarring on his eye. And then he also has, like, one of his glass lenses, or his glasses lens, is filled in black. So it kind of looks like an eye patch. So if this guy got shot in the back, why the frig does he have, like, scarring here? Why does he need, like, an eye patch? First of all, that looks totally friggin' lame. This guy actually, I took somewhat seriously in his dark kind of motivation, because he wants to kill Tess for what she did to him. And the thing is, he's doing a good job. The problem is, you're not going to take this guy seriously because he looks like an idiot. Anyway, so yeah, basically they try and get to Tess and Chloe, and they go to the hospital where Oliver is actually, because Oliver tried to shoot Zod because he figured that he needed to be stopped after Clark told him that Zod was posing as the Blur, and he ended up with a big Z scorched into his flesh, and he's in the hospital now. I think he's on critical condition. And while Chloe and Tess are there, they realize they need to get the bug out of her, the homing device. And what they do is they put those heart paddles that they use when people are flatlining. They use that to destroy the bug inside Tess, and the only way to bring her back is by using an injection. And Chloe says, "You're gonna have to trust me that I'm gonna have to bring you back." And she almost walked out on her. And to some degree, yeah, I figure that Chloe would do that. But then she has a change of heart and she brings her back, but she kind of lets Tess go off with a warning, reminding her that she saved her. So that was pretty much that half of the episode. And the other half was really, like I said, it's more of a Zod-centered episode where Zod is finally making the last step into becoming the General Zod that we know. Basically, he is, like I said, you first see him at the Luthor Mansion where he's interrogating a guard, and he finds out about Checkmate and their plans to kill the Kandorians. And also, Clark goes to the other Kandorians, the ones that don't have powers, because apparently there was a dividing faction when Zod thought that Clark was leading a rebellion inside the Kandorians. And Faora is technically their leader. She's there with her sister. And he gives Faora a journal from the Veritas group that documented stuff that Jor-El sent him about Zod destroying the planet and stuff like that. And basically Faora is horrified by this, but you kind of notice that she doesn't seem to realize the fact in the journal that it should probably mention that Faora helped Zod destroy this. And she's more horrified that Zod of what he's done, and yet not seem to be horrified by what she's done in helping him destroy Krypton. And so either she's totally ignoring that, or she was never told. And Clark knows that. Clark knows that Faora helped him. And basically, we also find out Faora is pregnant with Zod's child. And that's sort of where another plot hole comes in. Okay, in Bloodline, the episode where Davis Bloom was introduced to his mother Faora, he was told that Faora could not produce Zod an heir. Now, we have seen in the episode Kandor that Zod was able to produce an heir with his previous wife, and he was able to have a son. And then, but with Bloodline, that I had a bit of confusion with that. But anyway, Bloodline, it's pretty much showing that the information we got from Bloodline is that Faora is infertile, that she could not give Zod an heir. And if she is a clone of Faora, the real Faora, then she would have the exact same biology. So how can she possibly be pregnant with Zod's child? It's the same people, the same mother and father having a child, yet in the real incarnation, they couldn't have a child. So the only thing that it's a bit of a stretch theory, but the only theory is that it was a bunch of miscarriages. But still, you have to actually look into that and say, well, how does that work in the slightest? You have to actually put your thinking forward. It's not something that you want to have to sit down and say, okay, how does that work? You just want to flow with the episode. And that's where I kind of hit a roadblock in watching this episode, because I was left there for 5 minutes thinking, how the heck does that work? Anyway, so Faora tells the Kandorians that Zod is pretty much this tyrant who destroyed Krypton, and then Checkmate comes in, they try and kill everybody, all the Kandorians, and they take Faora away. Zod finds out that Faora tried to betray him and the Kandorians to Checkmate by almost giving Waller information, and he takes Faora away when Clark tries to save Waller. And basically Zod, he says in this thing that he loves Faora. And basically when she says she's not going to kneel before him because he's offering her redemption for betraying him, he chokes her to death. And then realizes at the last second when he hears the heartbeat inside of her womb that she was carrying his child. So then Zod gets pretty ticked off at Checkmate, the people who basically have nothing to do with this, and kills them. And says that they're the ones who were responsible for Faora dying. So basically, Zod, this is pretty much showing what everybody should have known for all along. That Zod was bound to be evil no matter what. He is lying, he's deceiving, and his anger is unjustified in many of these cases. He has a right to be pained that he just killed his son or daughter or whatever. But the fact is that his anger is at the wrong person or the wrong people, and he knows that. He knows that full on, and he's still doing it. And then basically Clark goes to the fortress where the Kandorians decide they're not going to cooperate with the humans anymore. They're following Zod, and they're actually calling him General Zod now. And basically Clark says he's not going to let them destroy the humans, and the Zod says you're not going to be able to stop us, and they all fly off. That was pretty much how the episode ended. And yeah, so it was a good episode. I would have given it a 7.5 on my blog, because I'm usually giving a rating now. But yeah, that's pretty much what I thought of the episode. It had some plot holes, but it wasn't the worst episode I've seen this season so far. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you guys later.